This is the Monday Night Raw March 31st, 2025 full show results video which takes place at O2 in London, England. John Cena makes his entrance and gets on the mic, but before he can speak, American Nightmare Cody Rhodes' music hits. He takes his sweet time and lets the crowd sing for him as he squares up with Cena and tells him we've heard John talk enough these past 2 weeks and now he's gonna do his job for him. Cena says he's not going to reduce himself and punch down to Cody's level just to protect him, because he's been protected long enough. He's also not going to cook him, he's gonna bury him just like he buried everyone else. The crowd has been saying for years that John Cena buries talent, but he doesn't bury talent, he is talent, he buried mediocrity. Rhodes has only shown that he's something mediocre wearing something meaningful, and that's enough to trick these people. Cody says don't act like you cleaned your room before you left John, don't act like you left WWE better than you found it. Cody's gonna ask one thing that might punch a hole in all of his logic. It's quite simple, between the two of them, which one sold out to The Rock? You sold out Chance ring out, and Rhodes says Cena is still his hero, but he's also a piece of shit. Cena says he's always been here because no matter how high the hill is or gross the garbage, he finds a way to make it great. Cody had to leave because at best he can wipe Cena's ass. He builds empires, the best Rhodes does is steal money from their kids, and he'll see him at WrestleMania. Cody calls him back and says in all the time he's been here and back, never once have they chanted at him, "You can't wrestle." That gets John back in the ring and ready to fight, except he smiles and turns away. Cena turns back for the cheap shot, but Rhodes sees it coming, blocks the punch and lays him out with the crossroads. He takes John's hat and throws it on his unconscious body and leaves the ring as Cena starts to stir. Back from the commercial, Adam Pearce comes down to tell New Day he told them they have to earn it, and their opponents tonight are Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, New Catch Republic. Then we saw a match between New Catch Republic versus New Day, and the result of this match was New Day defeated New Catch Republic by pinfall with Daybreak on Pete Dunne. Post-match, New Day are interviewed in the aisle and they demand a tag title match. Then comes War Raiders and they square up with New Day and jaw at each other. The next match happened between Gunther versus Big Jim Uso, and the result of this match was Gunther defeated Jim Uso by referee stoppage with the Gajira clutch. Post-match, Gunther puts the Gajira clutch back on and main event Jey Uso makes the save. Double leg into hammering punches and the ring general runs away, but Jey is right on him with more punches. The champion beats a hasty retreat out through the crowd. Back from the break, we see Jey Uso helping his brother, Jimmy, to the back. Gunther then attacks them from behind and sends Jey hard into the ring steps and chops the chest. WWE officials and security run down as Gunther sets up for a powerbomb on the steel steps. Gunther attacks one of the guards and gives him a powerbomb on the steps. Gunther grabs a zip tie from one of the guards and puts it around Jey's wrists. Gunther rips at the eyes and attaches him to the middle rope. Jey is defenseless, then Gunther grabs Jimmy and whips him hard into the barricade. Gunther kicks Jey and grabs the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey gets in the ring but cannot get far from the middle rope. Gunther taunts Jey and says he'll never get the title. Gunther turns and sees Jimmy getting on the apron, and he smashes him with the title. Then Gunther tells Jey to look at what he did to his brother. Jimmy crawls back into the ring, and he is busted wide open. Gunther holds Jimmy's face up for Jey to see. Gunther delivers a massive powerbomb to the bloody Jimmy. Jey is desperately trying to break the zip tie, then Gunther lays in some vicious clubs to Jimmy's head, covering his forearm in blood. Gunther licks the blood before spitting it out and the crowd gasps in horror. Jey grabs at his brother, but Gunther pulls Jimmy back and applies a sleeper hold. Jimmy is gushing blood from his forehead, then WWE officials get in the ring and get Gunther to release the hold. Gunther, covered in Jimmy's blood, holds up the World Heavyweight Championship. The men of Judgment Day are in the clubhouse chatting when Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez roll up. Finn Balor says brothers fight like cats and dogs, but they make up, and now that the nonsense about adding a fourth man is done and buried, they can focus on getting back to God. He tells Raquel not to worry about her loss to Lyra Valkyria last week, because he'll bring home the Intercontinental Championship. Finn and Dominic Mysterio leave and Carlito hangs back until the girls yell at him to go with Balor and Mysterio and begin talking about the Bayley problem as we cut away. Then we saw a match between Braun Breaker and Penta versus Judgment Day, and the result of this match was Judgment Day won the match by pinfall with the coup de grace from Finn Balor on Penta. Backstage, Chad Gable is talking to Adam Pearce about what a great signing El Grande Americano is and he'd love to get in there with him someday. Pierce asks if he's still unwell and Chad gives him a doctor's note. Adam says it's a shame because next week's show is in Minneapolis, and Gable changes his tune and says he's gonna be fine by then, but Pierce tells him he's already signed a match for El Grande Americano, doctor's orders. Gable turns around and runs into Alpha Academy and calls them clowns and idiots before they step forward, and Maxine Dupree wants to talk about tag team opportunities, not just for her Akira Tozawa and Otis Dozovic, but she's been chatting with Natalya about doing something. AJ Styles makes his entrance and gets on the mic, and he says he's been waiting in the back patiently for Logan Paul to call him out and he's tired of waiting. If he's got something to say to his face, come out and say it right now. Logan Paul makes his entrance and says AJ wouldn't understand and neither would the crowd because they're not famous like he is. He's a dad now, a girl dad, and he's trying to teach his daughter the art of forgiveness, so he forgives AJ Styles for what he did at Madison Square Garden, but he does not forget, so don't try to pull that again. AJ says this is Monday Night Raw, they're in London, England, he's got his gear on in the middle of the ring, what does he think? Logan says he thinks he's just saying a bunch of stuff that's true and he's done talking. Logan Paul says he knows AJ wants that big money match against him, so set your sights a little higher. He points to the WrestleMania sign and tries a cheap shot, but Styles blocks him. Punching his way into the corner, setting up the Styles clash, denied. Action to the floor, he bounces Logan's face off the announce desk and takes him back in where Paul wrenches the middle rope up into his gentleman's area as he returns to the ring. Pulverizer connects and stands tall. Lyra Valkyria is interviewed backstage and she thanks Bayley for having her back last week, but says she needs to stand on her own 2 feet, and the fact that Bayley is the only one who has beaten her since she won the title is driving her nuts, so she's giving her a title match next week. Back from the commercial, Judgment Day celebrate the boys' big win backstage. Finn Balor is hyped up for being on a roll during WrestleMania season, and he's gonna go chat with Adam Pearce about getting a title match. When he leaves, Liv Morgan tries to sow discord by pointing out that Finn is talking like he won by himself, and she says she's gonna go talk to Pearce on Dominic's behalf as soon as Balor is done in his office. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship, and Bianca Belair was the special guest referee. In the end, Ripley arguing, Bianca tells her off, Io comes over, Rhea takes her down, grounded punches, Belair breaks it up and Ripley slaps Bianca across the face in her frustration. Io Sky off the top with a missile dropkick, but Rhea sidesteps and she hits Belair this time. Bianca throws the match out, and the match goes to a double disqualification draw. Post-match, Rhea goes to the floor to brawl with Bianca and Io dives on both of them. Taking Ripley inside to beat her down, Belair follows and hammers Sky with elbows. Rhea with a headbutt, then hits Riptide to the Belair, one for Io Sky too. Rhea gets Bianca up top, and then delivered Avalanche Riptide and holds the title up over her 2 fallen rivals, and the show goes off the air. How much you would rate this week's Monday Night Raw? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching the video.